Hey y'all, it's Nathalie. Welcome to my channel. I've never done an unboxing before, but I just got a new Singer 6800C heavy duty sewing machine, and I've got a big project coming up, and so I thought, well, let me just, and it was on sale. I mean, if it's on sale, you just can't hardly beat it. Anyway, my son said, Mom, you don't open it yet, you need to do an unboxing. So I've never done an unboxing before, but I'm going to unbox this and give a little review. So hang on while I get my razor knife and get this thing opened up. Okay, so I guess you're supposed to see me do this. Anyway, here we go. Now I have another Singer heavy duty machine. It's a 4423. I've had it for years and I love it. And I've had all kinds of sewing machines. I've had Berninas. I would love to have another Bernina, maybe sometime in the future. But since I'm not doing sewing like continually, I don't know. Anyway, I need to pull this out, so hang on. Alrighty, I got it out of the box. Let's see, there's the presser foot. And a dust cover. I wouldn't have dust at my house. I don't know why y'all would think that. Alright, I'm not for sure what that little thing is right there, but I'll read my instruction manual. It's got a walking foot, that's cool. And it has a regular foot already on there. And all of this little sack of attachments. And look, let's see if I can figure out where the take-up lever is. I have to go ahead and look at my instruction book. Alright, I've got my power cord plugged in, and I'm going to plug that in to my sewing machine. And this has this kind of, I guess it's a little 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch, whatever that little fitting is here, and it plugs into the side of the machine too. So many of the machines that I've had, that the power cord and the presser foot are connected together, and they go into one port. So this one has a little port on the side. On here is an on-off switch. Ta-da! I have power, yay! I'm going to scoot you just a little bit. Let's see, which way do I want to go? That, I think that'll work. All right, and so this was kind of a little bit different. The instruction book is here. This was all taped down, so I got all that tape taken off, and I couldn't get the instruction book out, and almost on all of my machines, the lever to lift the presser foot up is on the back. This is right here on the side. So little investigation, and anyway. And it's not much of an instruction book, but I think they have all kinds of, like where you can go online and learn how to use this machine. It has a regular drop-in bobbin up here at the top. It already has the bobbin. There's a bobbin already wound for me. And I think these are going to be the same size bobbins that my other machine uses. So that's going to be good. So those, I'll have to double check and make sure that that the sizes are correct, because you don't want to put the wrong size bobbin in there. It has a bobbin already in there. I could have left that up there, but I'll get a spool of thread to put up there. And get into this. Right here are the attachments and the accessories that the machine comes with. It has a walking foot, which is great for thick fabrics, and like if you're going to do some quilting or some kind of funky fabrics, and this just kind of helps pull the fabric on through. It's a specialty foot. It comes with, let's do the feet first. Feet first. This is the buttonhole attachment foot. You put your button down in this section, and then this will adjust the length of the buttonhole, and you'll do all your settings on your machine. It comes with an extra spindle. This spindle would go on the top of the machine in case you have like a cone thread or something that wouldn't fit on the crossway spindle. And it also has a smaller thread cap that can go on to hold your like a little shorter thread, and it has this little felt pad so that whenever you put a spool on the top of your machine, it just sits on here and it'll help it to spin. So there's the little thread cap. I'll go ahead and put that there so it'll stay safe. This is a foot for putting on a button. And so you would attach this to your machine. There's the little thing right there where it attaches. Button sits underneath here. You set your zigzag stitch that would hold it in place while you stitch it down. This is the zipper foot. And the way that this adjusts, you don't adjust the needle for the zipper foot. You either set it in this side or this side, not the needle, but this is how it attaches to that bar on your machine where the presser foot sits, whatever that's called. This one is a seam allowance guide. If you're not real confident in using the seam allowance guide that's on your machine, you know, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch, you can adjust this to the seam allowance that you want to use. Whatever that might be. I haven't measured it to see how narrow or how wide it goes, but that's what this little attachment is for, is to help you to gauge your seam allowance. This one is a satin stitch, and so it has a little raised area under here to accommodate so that your presser foot doesn't get caught on the raised part of a satin stitch. This one is a darning foot. I believe that's what that one is. This one is a blind stitch hemmer, and so I'm not going to go into that, but you can also adjust the width of the blind stitch or the depth of the blind stitch by using this little wheel to turn that back and forth. This is another guide, like for really wide, or say if you're quilting and you want to make a 2-inch channel or something like that, then this fits in the back of the where your regular presser foot sits. There's a little guide thing for it to fit into. This is a cording foot if you wanted to stow down, say like crochet thread or satin cord, or I don't know that it would accommodate satin cord, maybe embroidery floss would fit into these little channels right here. And then you could stitch over the top of that, and that holds it in so that you don't have to guide it by hand. This, I think, is really cool. This is a screwdriver. I didn't know exactly what this was. There's a manual online, singer.com. It's 44 pages anyway, but this makes it easy to get underneath here in case you get thread jams or something and need to loosen that. A little brush to clean up with, and it has, every seamstress needs one of these, a seam ripper. Handy, handy, handy. Comes with 3 extra bobbins, and so it gives 4 bobbins total, and a little package of needles. So I'm going to put these in this little tray that's right here. Let me adjust the machine just a little bit, the camera just a little bit. This handy dandy little tray right here. All of these things will fit neatly, just right into that. Not the walking foot. It's too big for that. Then this whole thing pulls off, so if you needed this arm exposed to like hem a pair of jeans or something like that. And on the back side, right about here, can you see my hand? Right about here, there's a button, and it goes to the right or to the left. And what that button, let me lift this up, what that's going to do is it's going to, if I push it over to my right, it's going to drop my feed dogs. So if I wanted to do free motion stitching, which I like to do that sometimes, then that drops those feed dogs down so it doesn't grab the fabric and pull it through. And then I'll pull it the little lever back again to the left, and it puts the feed dogs right back up so to get ready for stitching. So as soon as I turned the hand wheel, they went right back up into place. All right, so we're going to slide this back in, and then I'm going to wind a bobbin and show you how to fill the bobbin, and then I'm going to get started on a project. So the first thing I'm going to do is wind a bobbin, and it's just a regular spool of thread. You can use one of those smaller spools of thread or spool cap in place so that this spool of thread doesn't fly off the end. This says number 1 right here. And so I'm going to use 2 hands, dink, underneath that, and then you can see where it loops around from the front to the back, and I'm just holding that in place so it'll snap underneath this little disc. Class 15 bobbin, and it's really neat because my other sewing machine, which is also a Singer heavy duty, uses the same bobbin, so I'll be able to interchange those. So I already have a good stock of those. All right, so put it on the spindle, the bobbin spindle, push it to the right, hold that piece of thread. The machine is powered on, and you're going to use the foot pedal, not the presser foot. The presser foot is what goes on the machine down here. Foot pedal to power the machine. And let's go. We'll do a couple of winds and then clip that thread. And then wind the bobbin, and you can fill it as full as you want to, or just enough thread for the project. And I'm not going to fill this one all the way full, so that looks pretty good to me. Push it back to the left, you hear it snap, and then pull that off. Clip my thread, and it's ready to put into the bobbin holder. When your bobbin is engaged up here on the top, then on the screen you will see that it's in bobbin mode, that little thing right there. And so whenever you take it loose, there you go. To thread the machine, we're going to come back underneath, again underneath this little loop there, and then we're going to come, that's 1, here's 2, and there's a little clip right here that you're going to make sure that that thread comes underneath this loop and goes into that. Then it's going to go down the front. I'm going to move the camera so you can see what we're going to do on the front. All right, we have the thread through 1 and 2 and into that little loop. One thing that's really important, see this take-up lever right here? Well, you can't hardly see that. So I need to lift it up. I turn the hand wheel toward me, and this brings this little lever up. So I'm underneath this, that's number 2. Hold on to that just a second. And then 3, 4, do a little U-turn right there. 5, and the same thing. Make it click in place. There's a little loop right in the corner there. And then we're going to go down into these guides that are at the bottom. There's 1 towards the front, that guide, and 2. And to thread this machine, you can thread it manually, or you can use it has a needle threader right there. This little button right here on the front, this is awesome. I love this. It puts the needle down or up to the highest position, and that's what you want, is to the highest position to use the needle threader. So what this is going to do, there's a little lever right here that pulls down, and you're going to put that thread underneath that loop. Bring it back over the top. I'm going to try to keep my fingers out of the way. Underneath and back over the top. Come on down. And then there's 2 little hooks on each side, and there's a hook in the middle. And you want to catch that thread on the hook. Don't put too much tension on it. You make sure I'm out of the way. Release that, and you can see the loop. Make sure your foot's not on the pedal, and that's how you thread that. Pull that loop on through. So to get the end of the thread through. Okay, so I have my bobbin ready to drop in. I have it over the top, towards the left, and down so it makes like the little P shape. You're going to drop the bobbin in and follow the little white lines. Hold this steady. Come underneath. There's a little, like a plastic thing there, and you can see the little arrow. Come around. Follow the arrow. Pull around towards the front. Go ahead and put that cover back on, like that. And then there's a little cutter right there. And I just cut off the little end of that thread. And so what this does, you can either use your hand wheel pulling it towards you and pull that bobbin thread up, or when you get ready to sew, it's going to automatically pull that bobbin thread up. That's one of the new features about this that I think is just way cool. Okay, a couple of more features. This one is the needle up and the needle down, and that's really good for like if you need to turn a corner or something like that. This automatically ties off when you're stitching, and this is a cutter. There's also a cutter over here on this side. There, that's a little blade right there, so when you're pulling your threads up, you can loop it over and cut your extra threads off right there. This is the speed, so you can slow it down. Like if you're a beginner sewer and you want to go really slow, you can slow it down, or if you're, if you need to speed it up. But this is as high as it'll go. That's as fast as it's going to go. And I had it set about midway. These are the controls, the control screen, and it shows me I'm on M1. I guess that's memory. I don't know. That's a straight. It's going to show me what presser foot, not the one that you put your foot on to make the machine go, but over here on the that you're going to sew your fabric with. So that's the presser foot, and then it shows the needle position here, and then this is going to be your stitch length. And that 3.5, is that my speed? No, that's not my speed. I'm not sure that what this 3.5 is. I have to do some more research on that. But anyway, here you have M, and you can do all these selections. Let me show you this. I didn't know what this was, but that's what that M is about. These are guides, and like this would be M2, and then this is going to give me an assortment of stitches, zigzags, different zigzags. M16, 17 is buttonholes, different kinds of buttonholes, soft rounded end. Here's a regular buttonhole with the that I would probably be using, so that is an M023 to set that in place. Anyway, there's 3 different guides. You can't lose them because they are attached to the machine. There's some decorative stitches and some alphabet stitches. I haven't played with those yet, but when I do, I will let you know. The presser foot lifter release is here, right here. There's a little lever right here. Pulls that up, lets it down, and then behind there is a little release right here that you can touch, and it drops the presser foot. And then you can change out your feet. So this is the buttonhole foot. Get on there. So you just line it up and then use your lever to press that back down into place. Let me get it lined up. Make sure my hand is out of the way. Sure that it snaps in place. There we go. All right, and then, so we'll release that. Let's do the button foot. That was the buttonhole foot. Let's put the button foot on. That's that one with a little blue cushion on it. Slide it up underneath there and then drop that lever. Make sure your foot's not on the foot pedal. Alright, so that's ready to sew a button on. To change out the needle, use your handy dandy little screwdriver. There's a little screw right there. Hold on to your needle. Make sure your foot's not on the foot pedal. Pull that needle down and out. There you go. Grab your new needle. Now this is still new needle, so I'm going to go ahead and put it right back in. There has a flat side to it. This one has lettering on it. Some of them don't have lettering on it, but the flat side goes to the back. And the groove, there's a little groove, and I can feel it with my thumbnail, but that always needs to be to the front. That's where your thread's going to go down that little groove. So make sure that's to the front. I know my hand's in the way. Sorry. Foot's off of the pedal. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey on your screw. Okay? Put that in place. Make sure your thread is not wrapped around the needle. We'll go ahead and use this again, up and down. Loop this underneath to the front. Catch that. And there it is to the back. There's my loop. Excuse my hands. Pull through. Alright, we're going to change this, put the regular foot back on. I just released that. Let's do a little test stitching. Now I have that set at that 2.5. So the thread looks good on the top and on the bottom. If it makes a bunch of loops on the bottom, that means you didn't thread it right on the top of your machine, not on the bottom of your machine. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of more features, and then that is this this one, this button right here. It's an automatic sew. So first off, let me do a little knot thing at the beginning. So it makes sure it's secure, so it's not going to come unraveled on you. So then we're going to sew with that button. And then I'm going to adjust the speed just a little bit. Let me back up just. So I'm going to adjust that speed down just a little bit. And I'm going to hit that sew button again. You probably don't want to sew without using your hands. This is your back stitch. It does like a couple of back stitches. So then we're going to knot it off. There you go. And then we're going to cut the thread because we're done. Lift this up, and there we go. It automatically cuts the thread, and you don't have to worry about pulling that all back out again. Let's put that back down, and we'll sew again using the foot pedal. I want to speed it up. I'm over here, seeing at the top of the screen. Here I am. Speed it up. So you can see it sews at a pretty good rate of speed. Anyway, let's see if there's anything else I want to tell you about this. Let's try a zigzag maybe. Let me turn this around and let's get this straight. All right, let me show you what I did. And go back to 1. All right. So I'm not going to do a whole bunch of these for you. We'll let you, maybe in a little bit I'll do another tutorial or something. So the M1, that's what it's showing right now. I've got the regular presser foot. I'm just going to select the 5 right here. I'm not even using my little guides down here. It's a regular zigzag. And you can see, and here is my width. It moved my width over here, and that's my length. So let's see what that gets us. I'll hit this. And stop, release that, and there's the zigzag stitch right there, and it's sewed over the top of that one. So let me move off over to the side so that it is. I'll do it again. Get that out of the way. There it is. Okay, so let me tell you about, just a little second, thank you so much for watching my unboxing, but let me tell you about Sew So Simple. It's my beginner sewing class. I launched it last year in October during the pandemic thing, and there's 16 lessons in there, 7 hours of video, and I'm relaunching it again July the 1st, so that's that's 2021, so that's like next week, and if you go to myhallcloset.com, and at the top of the screen you'll see With All My Art Academy. And so you click there, and then you'll enter your email address, and I'll put you on a subscriber list, an email subscriber list, to let you know whenever I have that class starting. I mean, the registration. Once you register, in the first 48 hours, you'll get a $20 discount code for early bird registration. We love early bird discounts, yes. And the registration is only going to be open until July the 9th. That's when I'll close the registration, but the classroom will be available to you all the time. They're not Zoom classes, they're recorded. You can speed them up, slow down, skip over the top. They're ultimate beginners classes. Anyway, and I'll put a link below that tells a little bit more of another video, YouTube video that tells a little bit more about the class. But anyway, I'd love to see you in the classroom. And hey, if you like this video, give me a little thumbs up, subscribe, and share me with your friends. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.